A very sweet good morning, Pathans. Welcome in S.St class. Children, chapter number 10. Our water resources. Reading is going on. In my previous video, I told you about water and the sources of water. I told you about rain. That is the main source of water. I told you also about surface water and the examples rivers and tanks. And today we'll discuss about groundwater. What is groundwater and what are the examples of groundwater? Groundwater, as the name indicates, just see groundwater. Groundwater, another important source of water which can be obtained through digging wells, pumping water up through tube wells. Most of the drinking water comes from these sources. Okay, so these are also very important resources of water. So this is clear, groundwater. Now I'm telling you the examples of groundwater. At first I'm telling you about wells. What are wells? Okay, have you ever visited a village? Have you ever seen a well? No, you just see the peck of well. Okay, a deep hole dug in the earth to obtain water by the traditional method, pulley system. Okay, wells are main source of water in many Indian villages and towns. In places where groundwater is available, wells are dug. जहाँ पे ग्राउंड वाटर अवेलेबल होता है वहां पे वेल्स को डग किया जाता है. So it's clear, wells. Okay, they are the main source of water in many Indian villages and towns. Okay, children, so this is clear. Now I'm telling you about tube well. Tube well, as the name indicates, tube well. Okay, the tubes are inserted in the ground and water is taken out with the help of an electric pump. Okay, एक ट्यूब को इंसर्ट किया जाता है ग्राउंड में और वाटर टेकन आउट विद द हेल्प ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रिक पंप. एक इलेक्ट्रिक पंप की हेल्प से वाटर को बाहर निकाला जाता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड ट्यूब वेल. ओके चिल्ड्रन, a well made by driving a tube into the earth and water is taken out with the help of an electric pump. So this is clear, tube well. Now see, they are used to supply water to farms. Okay, and hand pumps are also used to draw water from underground. Okay, so now I'm telling you about springs. What are springs? Springs. There are 4 types of springs. I'm telling you about. At first, spring hota kya hai? I'm telling you. Spring. A spring is formed when groundwater naturally emerges at the surface. Means groundwater that flows naturally from the ground. जो naturally ground से बाहर आ जाता है water at the surface is called a spring. Again telling you, groundwater that flows naturally from the ground at the surface is called a spring. Now I'm telling you about the types of spring. Number 1, shallow spring. Means जो बहुत little depth पे होता है. Water is not very deep. जिसमें water बहुत ज़्यादा deep नहीं होता है. That is shallow. Okay. Number 2, number 2 is deep spring. Name indicates मतलब जहाँ water बहुत deep होता है. Number 3, mineral springs. A spring of water that contains significant amount of dissolved minerals. जहाँ water में बहुत सारे minerals dissolve होते हैं. Okay. Next is thermal spring. A spring whose temperature is higher than the mean temperature of groundwater in the area. Okay. That is thermal spring. मतलब whose temperature is higher than the mean temperature of groundwater in the area. That is thermal spring. Okay. Now I'm telling you about irrigational canals. What are those? These are dug to carry water from rivers and lakes to areas where it is required. Okay. So, as you read in chapter number 4 also, the Great Indian Desert, the Indira Gandhi Canal in Rajasthan was built to carry the water from Satluj river to parts of Rajasthan. Okay, so this is clear all about groundwater. As I told you about wells, tube wells, springs and irrigational canals and hand pumps also. Okay children, so you have to read page number 85 carefully. Now I am telling you about the importance of water. Water is essential for human beings, animals, plants. मतलब water के बिना तो कुछ भी कोई भी ह्यूमन बींग्स या प्लांट्स या एनिमल्स सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते. ओके, सो वाटर इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? नाउ आई एम टेलिंग यू water is used for various important purposes. At first, agriculture. Without water, we even can't think about agriculture, right? हम water जो agriculture है वो water के बिना possible ही नहीं है. It's not possible, right? Water plays the most important role in agriculture. Agriculture is impossible without irrigation during the crop season, right? Irrigation ensure proper plant growth. It is estimated that 70% of worldwide water is used for irrigation and 22% is used by industries. Okay, 70% of worldwide water is used for irrigation, right? And 22% is used for industries. Water is also used for renewable power generation, right? It is estimated that only 8% of worldwide water is used for domestic purposes. Okay, domestic purposes के लिए 8% and 22% is used by industries and 70% of worldwide water is used for irrigation. Right, children? So just keep in mind all these things, right? These include drinking water, bathing, cooking, toilet, flushing, cleaning, laundry and gardening. Means 8% में क्या क्या include होता है जो domestic purposes के लिए use होता है, and that is drinking water, bathing, cooking, toilet, flushing, cleaning, laundry and gardening. So water is essential for agriculture, right? Water for municipal use. Municipal water is the water supplied for domestic purposes, commercial use, lawn and gardening, irrigation and fire protection. Right, children? And water for industries also, water for fish, water for wildlife and recreation. So I'm telling you what is recreation. Just keep in mind all those activities that people choose to do refresh their body and mind. Okay, refresh their bodies and mind. Walking, swimming, games, dancing, boating, fishing, ये सब जो है recreation है. And जहाँ water का use होता है तो वो activities तो without water is not possible. So you just keep in mind that water is essential for living beings, right? So we have to conserve water. हमको water waste नहीं करना है. We have to conserve water. Okay, children? So you have to keep in mind, today we have discussed about groundwater and the examples wells, tube wells, springs, okay, canals and importance of water. So water is very much important for living beings. So you just keep all these things in mind and you have to read page number 85 from the book, page number 85 and page number 86. Up to here you have to read, okay children, and read very carefully, children. Tomorrow we'll discuss about dams, uses of dams and water conservation. It's a very important topic, you know, water conservation. So you have to be ready for next video. We'll send you soon. Okay children, have a wonderful time.